Hey, welcome to Draft Academy. My name is Mike. In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about comments in Java. Now, a comment is essentially just a little line of code that we can stick inside of our Java files that's meant to be read by other humans. So any comments that we write inside of our files are actually just going to get ignored by Java. The comments are meant for either yourself later on or for other developers who are looking at your Java file. You can leave like little notes, or you can also use comments to get rid of certain pieces of code temporarily. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys just about how to use comments and the different ways that we can use them inside of Java. So down here, I'm just sort of in my main method. And if I want to create a comment, the easiest way to do that would be to type 2 forward slashes. And when I type 2 forward slashes, what that tells Java is that any text to the right of the forward slashes is going to be considered a comment. So basically, when Java sees these 2 forward slashes, it's just like, okay, I can basically ignore anything that comes after that because we know for a fact it's not going to be code. So I could type over here like a comment, and you'll see that the text actually looks a little bit different than like some text down here. And basically, since this is a comment, it's not going to show up on our Java document. So when I run this file, you'll see that all it says is comments are fun. And it's not giving me an error about this comment because the comment is meant to be read by humans. So if I just typed a bunch of stuff down here, you'll see that immediately Java starts yelling at me. But I can type anything after this comment and Java's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like you're just writing in a little note. So one useful thing we can do with comments would be like to describe a line of code that we wrote. Or you could describe like a function or a method and you could say like what it's doing. So for example, I could say like this line prints out a message. And it's pretty obvious what this line is doing. But if I wanted, I could put a comment above this line and it would basically describe what it's doing. Now, in certain circumstances, you're not just going to want to have one line of comments. So for example, like if I move on to a new line, this is no longer considered a comment. And in a situation like that, we can use another type of comment, which is called a multi-line comment. And when we create a multi-line comment, we actually need to create a starting comment tag and an ending comment tag. And then anything that we put inside of those comment tags is going to be considered a comment. So I can actually go like this and I can just say forward slash and a star. And then in order to end off this comment, I need to say star and another forward slash. So now anything inside of these 2 stars and forward slashes is going to be considered a comment. And this is just yelling at me because those aren't actual words. But I could put like a word, words, and you can see we can create a comment that spans across multiple lines. But if I was to write something outside of these star brackets here, then it's gonna consider it an error. So comments, like I said, can be really useful to write little notes or just like little reminders for yourself. And if I wanted even, I could write a comment after a line of code. So why don't we create a variable? I'll just make a string called dog and we'll just set it equal to German Shepherd. A lot of times what people will do is after they create a variable or after they do something like this, they'll put a comment after it. So I could say like my favorite dog or something. Basically, I'm giving a little comment after this string dog. Another way comments can be really useful is to temporarily comment out specific lines of code. Sometimes when you're writing a program, you're gonna wanna like try to remove a line of code. And one option would be to just like cut the piece of code, run your program, and then once you're done running it without it, you can paste it back in. Or you can actually just comment it out. So over here, when I run this program, it says comments are fun. But let's say that I wanted to run the program, just one time without this line in there. I could put a comment in front of it, and now this whole line is gonna be commented out. So when I run this program, it's no longer gonna print that out. But I don't have to like delete this entire line. Like it's still there, and if I want to bring it back, all I have to do is just delete the comment, and now we'll be able to use it in our program again. So comments can be really useful for like commenting out specific lines of code, and it's a really common thing that you'll see when you're programming. Now, I just want to say one thing about comments. Generally, comments should be used sparingly. So good practice when you're programming is only use a comment when you absolutely have to. A lot of times, you're better off just trying to write code that's like really clean and really readable than to try and like just put comments everywhere. A lot of times developers will get upset or annoyed if there's like a bunch of comments just like littering the entire file. But comments can be really useful if they're used correctly. So play around with using comments and you can start using them in your Java programs right away. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to Draft Academy to be the first to know when we release new content. Also, we're always looking to improve, so if you have any constructive criticism or questions or anything, leave a comment below. Finally, if you're enjoying Draft Academy and you want to help us grow, head over to draftacademy.com/contribute and invest in our future.